Hey, good morning and welcome, guys. Happy Thursday. I'm so glad that you could join me for my inaugural Facebook Live class. Thanks in advance for giving me feedback after the class. I'd love to hear from you about how you enjoyed it, and also if you had any technical difficulties accessing the class or hearing the audio or anything like that. As I mentioned, this is my first time doing this, so I want to be able to improve as I move forwards. I don't know about you guys, but I am sure missing having a normal routine every week. I am also really missing teaching my Pilates class on Thursday mornings that I normally have at the Y. And so I'm going to be teaching this class every week on Thursdays at 9. But moving forwards after this week, you're going to be able to find this class on the YMCA Allard Center of Goffstown Facebook page, not my personal Facebook page. So if you haven't already liked our page, please go ahead and do so. We have a ton of great content. There's a lot of stuff on there that we're trying to do to keep everybody active and engaged right now. So like I said, you'll find me there. You don't need any equipment for today's workout. I am going to recommend, if you're not on a soft surface like a carpet, use a mat just to give yourself a little bit of cushion. You may also want to have some water nearby, a towel. I don't think we're going to get super sweaty today, but just in case you prefer to have it. And then you'll also notice that I don't have any shoes on. If you prefer to leave your shoes on, you're welcome to do that, but you might be a little bit more comfortable transitioning through some of the positions with your shoes off. So we're going to be working through a little over 30 minutes of a core workout today. This is a very Pilates inspired workout. And what that means is that even though we're not going to necessarily do straight Pilates exercises for the whole workout, we really want to focus on some of the foundational Pilates principles. So we're going to connect our movement to our breath. We're really going to try to work on keeping our cores engaged while we're breathing, which is often harder than it sounds. And we're really going to focus chiefly on having good technique and good form through all of the exercises, doing them at a nice, slow, controlled pace. As we go through each move, I am going to give you some progressions. Remember that progressions are options. So if they don't feel right for your body, don't feel like you got to take it there. All right, we're going to start out here with a nice warm-up. Always important to get some blood flow to the spine before we dive into any exercises. So we're going to begin in a tabletop or box position and just working on some cat-cow. So as you take a nice deep breath in, I want you to push your navel down towards the floor, lift the top of your head and your tailbone up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, round it out. Scoop that belly up and in, tuck your chin towards your chest, curl that tailbone forwards. Good, inhaling, arching. And then exhaling, rounding it out. Awesome, we're gonna stay here for just a few more breaths. Really try to exaggerate those movements and make sure to incorporate the entire length of your spine. Top of head, all the way down to the tip of your tailbone. I want you to start to feel like you're engaging, activating the muscles as well. You're not just passively flowing through the movements, but trying to gently contract those muscles along your spine as you arch, and then gently lifting that navel up towards your spine as you round. Good, last couple here. Good, and one more nice big deep breath, inhale. And exhale, round it out. Awesome, I want you to come back to the neutral spine position, so back is nice and flat, top of head and tailbone are aiming straight forwards and back. We're going to take a big hand step forwards and just rocking forwards onto your knees to slide into a kneeling plank. So you can make sure you still got your navel lifting up towards your spine so you don't feel like you're dipping or arching into your low back here. I want you to take a nice big deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to go ahead and push back. We're not going to go quite into a full child's pose. I want you to keep your bottom off of your heels, reach back through your tailbone, push your forehead down towards the floor to open up the shoulders. Good, we're gonna inhale, rock forwards into that kneeling plank. Try to push your hips down just enough so that you start to feel that core engaged. And then exhale, slide it back, reach back through that tailbone. Just like with our cat-cow, we're gonna do this a few times. And remember, if you're feeling kind of tight, just keep your movements a little smaller to start. And then as you get warmer, you can go deeper. Good, inhale, rock it forwards. And exhale, press it back. Good, we've got 3. 2. And one more just like this, inhale. Good, and exhale, press it back. All right, inhale up to that tabletop or box. I want you to go ahead and step a foot forwards. You'll notice as we go through today's workout, I'm not going to cue you for sides. You pick the side you want to start on, and then make sure to switch sides as we get to the next round. So just working on a little bit of rotation here in our lunge position. Good, chest is open, posture soft. Good, don't feel like you have to link your breath to your movements here. Just try to breathe nice and naturally. Good, excellent. Go ahead and release your hands back down towards the ground. We're just going to switch legs here. All right, other foot comes forward. Just try to make sure you have a nice 90-degree angle in that leg. We're going to lift up. And again, we're just working into a gentle rotation here. Excellent. Again, making sure to try to warm up that spine in all directions. All right, let's go ahead and release the hands back to the mat. Coming back through our tabletop. We're going to go ahead and get started here. We're going to roll right onto our backs. So finding your position on your mat. Anytime we change position, we just want to take a moment and make sure that whatever new position we're in, we're able to maintain our neutral spine. So here on the mat, I want you to think about the action of pulling your navel back towards your spine. I often compare this to trying to fit in the pants that are a little bit too small, but just make sure that you're continuing to breathe. I don't want you to hold your breath as you draw your belly back. We're going to go ahead and extend our arms up towards the ceiling. I want you to stack your knees right over your hips. We've got about a 90-degree bend in both legs. And again, in this position, just make sure that you're continuing to draw your navel down and back so that your low back is lightly connected to the mat. I'm going to work with my left leg to start. Again, you pick the side you want to begin on. As you inhale, I want you to lower those toes right towards the ground. Try to maintain that 90-degree angle. We're going to exhale and draw the knee back into alignment over the hip. So same leg here. We're going to inhale and lower. Again, nice gentle touch. And then exhale and lift. Good, as you're working through this basic variation of a dead bug exercise, I want you to make sure that your pelvis is nice and stable, that low back is lightly connected. And both hips, the backs of both hips are anchored to the mat as well. All right, last one like this, we're gonna add a progression on here. Exhale, draw that knee back up. So throwing my opposite arm into the mix. I'm gonna inhale, lower and lengthen. That opposite arm is gonna reach behind me. And then I'll exhale and lift. Notice how I'm doing the exercises fairly slowly, linking them with my breath. Faster is not always better, especially when we're trying to build strength. If I can keep those muscles under tension longer by going more slowly, that's a good thing. All right, we're inhaling, lowering. Great job so far. We're exhaling, lifting. We're going to do one more like this, and then we're going to build our last progression on here. Exhale and lift. So now I'm going to go ahead and just straighten that leg out. Notice how I've still got just a little bit of a bend to my knee. Exhaling, lifting. Good, inhaling, lowering. Continue to monitor that low back, especially if you're in this more advanced variation of the exercise. If it starts to arch or lift, dial back to one of those other options I presented. Inhale. Awesome, and exhale. Almost there, inhale. And exhale, we've just got two more for this side. Inhale. And exhale. And last one, inhale. Awesome, and exhale. Awesome. Go ahead, bring your feet all the way down to the floor. Arms are gonna press down along the sides of the body. I want you to tuck your chin towards your chest. We're gonna work into a little bridge, a shoulder bridge hold here. I want you to make sure that as we lift up, the pressure is in the broad part of the backs of your shoulders, not in your head or your neck. So you're gonna take that little bit of a tuck. Start by walking your heels in towards your bottom. Make sure your knees are driving together so everything is at hips width apart. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, I just want you to lift your bottom, your hips away from the mat by like an inch, so a really small amount here. As you lift your bottom up and away, continue to think about that action of pulling your navel back towards your spine. I don't want you to feel like an arch is creeping into that low back space as we continue to lift up. So just hold here and breathe. And monitor your form. Make sure everything's engaged and stable. Pelvis is nice and level. You're not tipping or twisting to one side or the other. Take a nice deep breath in here. As you exhale, I want you to push up just by like another inch, an inch or so. Really focusing on contracting your glutes and keeping that core engaged. Whew. Muscles are starting to get a little bit warm. All right, last one we're gonna do here. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, go ahead, push up just one more inch. Try not to lose that neutral spine. Like I said, when we really focus on keeping our cores engaged in the bridge, that emphasizes how much we can work the glutes as well. All right, give me 15 more seconds here. Nice deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Release your bottom all the way down to the mat. Take a moment just to reset here if you need to. We're going to come back up into that dead bug position. So we're going to start out arms extending towards the ceiling, knees stacked over hips. So remember, we're going to switch sides here. For me, I'm now on my right leg, and eventually I'm going to add that left arm. So beginning on an inhale, low back is gently connected to the mat. Toes connect to the mat. And then we're exhaling back into position. Inhale, lower. Awesome. Exhale back into position. So another great way to modify these movements is just with your range of motion. I can lower my toes just as much as I need to feel that core engaged, and then lift the knee back up. I don't have to bring the toes all the way to the mat if that doesn't feel right for me today. Let's do one more with this variation. We're inhaling, lowering. Exhaling, lifting, and now let's go ahead and add that arm in. We're going to inhale, extend and lower. Exhale, lift into position. Good. Inhale, extend and lower. Really reach that arm behind you. Exhale and lift. One of the things I love about this exercise is that it helps us to build strength, but it can also help us to build a little bit of flexibility as well. All right, 2 more with this variation, and then we're going to take it to that final progression. All right, nice job, guys. Here it is if you want it. Leg extends all the way. We're inhaling, lowering, stretch. Good, stretch and reach. Exhale, lift. Good, stretch and reach. Keep that low back down. Exhale, lift. 4, 3, good, use that breath. 2, and last one. Good, great job. Just hug your knees in towards your chest for a second here. Give yourself a little rock side to side. We're going to come back to that bridge hold in just a moment. All right, excellent. Let's go ahead and place our feet back on the mat. And again, we're going to walk our heels towards our bottom. We want to make sure everything is at about hips width apart, not opening out, not knocking inwards. Arms pressed down by the sides of the body. Take a nice deep breath in as you curl that chin forwards, and then exhale, bottom lifts. Again, we're going to start with just that inch of lift. So you're hovering right away from the mat, but really close. Try to let your head and your neck relax. Good. Take a deep breath in as you exhale, push up just another inch. And continue to pull your navel back with strength, keeping that neutral spine. Good. We often think of our shoulder bridges as a work pose, right? We're feeling those glutes engaged, but it's also a great way to stretch out our hip flexors. Let's take one more breath in here. And as you exhale, push up again just an inch. Maintain that alignment through the knees. Make sure they're not knocking inwards or opening outwards. We're almost there. Good. Give me 15 more seconds in this position. You got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, nice, slow, soft release down on the mat here. Whew, stretch the legs out just for a moment. Reach your arms past the top of your head, full body stretch. All right, moving into our next sequence here, we're gonna tackle obliques and some of the muscles around our hips just a little bit more here. So I want you to go ahead and start in that same invisible box position with the legs. Knees are gonna stack over the hips, shins are parallel to the floor. We're gonna open our arms out this time into a T, palms are facing down. We're gonna work into some rotation. One of the biggest things I want you to focus on is really trying to keep the back side of your upper body evenly pushing down into the mat. I'm going to begin by lowering my legs to the left side of my mat. Again, you choose the side that feels right for you to start with. That means I want to focus on that opposite shoulder, that right shoulder. I don't want it lifting as I twist through my waist. So we'll start out again, arms in that T, navel is drawing back, so the low back is lightly connecting to the mat at the center position. As you inhale, I want you to lower those legs to one side. We're going to go to just one side for this whole set. Good. As you exhale, try to use those core muscles to pull those legs back to center. So again, we're going nice and slow and controlled here with our breath. Inhaling, lowering. Exhaling, lifting. Really focusing on keeping that opposite shoulder anchored down to the ground so the twist is coming from our waist. Good. Inhale and lower. Each time I sweep back to center here, I'm just making sure I've still got that light connection between my low back and the mat. We're going to do a couple more like this. And then again, we'll do one progression with this exercise. Good. Last one like this. All right, progressing this here, I'm just going to start to extend my legs out a little bit. Good, lengthening my lever as I twist. We'll add a little bit of challenge for those obliques. Exhaling, pulling back to center. Good, inhaling, lowering. Exhaling back to center. You'll notice that I'm not allowing my legs to go all the way down to the ground in this twist. I want to maintain engagement in my obliques. And frankly, I'm just not that flexible. So if you can get your toes all the way down to the floor and not lose good alignment, go for it. All right, we've got 5 more to go. 5 more. Inhale. And exhale, pull back to center. All right, getting so close. All right, great job. Let's do one more here. Take that deep breath in. Exhale, legs pull back to center. All right, you can hold here at center with legs up. If you need to, place your feet down on the ground for a second and give your low back a break. Please feel free to do so. So next exercise, I'm still basically working to that same side. For me, that's my left side, but this time I'm just going to move my outside leg, my left leg. So I'm going to begin, again, modified variation here, knees over the hips, shins stacked or parallel to the floor. So this time I want to keep my pelvis pressing down into the mat nice and level. I'm going to take an inhale and I'm just going to open this left leg out. So again, I want to make sure I'm not rolling towards that left side. Exhaling, drawing that leg back into alignment. So just work with your range of motion here. Everybody has different flexibility in the space in their body, so it shouldn't be painful. I don't want you to feel like you're straining to reach that knee out to the side. Inhale, open. And exhale, draw in. Good, inhale, open. Try to hold that other leg as steady and stable as possible. Last 2 with this variation, lower. And lift one more like this, and then again, we'll progress this. Inhale. And exhale. All right, I'm going to straighten that leg out. This is our progression. So we're inhaling, opening. Again, anytime I lengthen my lever, it's going to make the exercise feel just a little more challenging. Inhale, open. Again, right hip stays anchored down. Try not to roll. 5. 4, 3. Try to draw the same nice controlled arc out to the side with each movement. 2. And last one. All right, again, brief pause here. Place your feet down on the mat if you need to. If you can hang out comfortably in this invisible box position, again, knees stacked over hips, shins parallel to the floor, please feel free to do that. So now comes the clincher. We are going to basically combine those two exercises. So really important that we're focusing on stabilizing and going slow as we go through the movements. I know slow isn't always easy. It gets tougher as we go. So arms stay open out in that T. We're still working to that same side. I want you to begin with an inhale and working with that full twist. So both legs release towards that left side. We're going to exhale and sweep back to center. So now hips anchor, just the leg opens out. Take that arc open. Good, and exhale, drop back in. So we're back to the twist, same side. Inhale, lower. Good, exhale, wind to center. And now just that leg arc. Awesome, so far so good. All right, inhale. And exhale. And now just that leg arc again. All right, we're gonna do one more with this variation. And then again, we're gonna progress this movement. All right, take that leg arc. Perfect. Now progressing, I'm extending my legs for that twist. Inhaling. Exhaling the center. I'm going to go ahead and keep my legs extended as I work into that leg arc. Pin that right hip down. Exhale. All right, we've got 4 to go. Inhale. Exhale. You got this. You got this. 3. 2. Great job. Last one. Good, and leg arc. All right, nice work here. Go ahead and place your feet down on the mat. Whew, hello, hip flexors. All right, great job. We're gonna release the hip flexors here, but we're gonna keep working. I want you to go ahead and open your knees out to the sides. Press the soles of your feet together. We often call this a butterfly pose or a butterfly stretch. I want you to try to relax your legs as much as you can. If you're feeling any strain or discomfort here, if you have a pillow or a cushion, you can slide those underneath the sides of your legs just to help support them. But again, if you can, just let everything drift open naturally. We're going to place fingertips behind the head. Try to keep your elbows open towards opposite walls so that you can breathe. Chest is expanded. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to curl the back of your head and the back of your shoulders up and away from the mat. Inhale, release back slowly. And then exhale, curl up. As you curl up and breathe out, really try to draw your belly back instead of allowing it to lift out and away as you come up. Exhale. Good, and inhale. Ten, 9, 8, good, be really careful here about not pulling on your head. 7, think more about relaxing your head back into your hands. 6, versus trying to draw that head forwards with the hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. right, excellent. Great job coming all the way back down onto the mat. We're going to come back to that twist and leg arc series, but we're going to the opposite side. I know it's like the biggest spoiler alert, right? If we do something on one side, we got to do it on the other side to stay balanced. So we're going to go ahead and begin once again with legs in that invisible box position. Shins parallel to the floor. Everything is aligned with hips width. I still want to make sure that I'm able to keep my low back down against the mat, so I'm drawing my navel in, keeping that contraction. Arms open out into a T. This time I am moving to the right. I'm going to inhale and lower my legs towards that side. Left shoulder stays anchored to the floor. Exhaling, pulling back to center. Again, make these movements your own. Take them to the depth that works for you. Remember that it's more important to strive for really excellent form, really good technique, versus doing the hardest variation of the exercise, doing the most volume of whatever the movement is. Like I said, it's always quality over quantity. All right, we'll do just a couple more in this variation. Two. And last one like this. Again, stay here if you need to. If you can, go ahead and extend those legs out a little longer. We're still inhaling on that lower, keeping that control. And then exhaling, pulling back through center. Try to make sure that you're gently connecting the low back to the mat every time you come back to center. 4. 3. 2. 1. Last one, uncle, we're almost there. All right, excellent job. We're going to move into that leg arc. So legs come back to that invisible box. All right, try to reset those shoulders. Press your low back down into the mat. Take an inhale, open that leg out. Good, exhale, draw back to center. Good, inhale, open the leg out. Exhale, draw back to center. Really focus on keeping that opposite hip down. Good, we've got 2. And 1 more like this. Moving into that full variation, leg extends all the way out. Good, arc it out, reach. Exhale, sweep back to center. Good, you guys are doing great, stay with me. Inhale. Good, exhale, sweep to center, 4. 3. 2. 1. Last one. All right, nice work. Legs come back into that invisible box again. If you need a little break for the low back here, just pop your feet down onto the mat briefly. We're going to set up for that combo movement. So arms stay out in that T. Again, try to relax through your shoulders. Chin tucks forwards. All right, let's start out with the twist here. Inhaling, legs lower. Good, exhale, sweep back to center. And now just the arc. Anchor that opposite hip. Push it down into the mat. Exhale. All right, inhale, twist. Exhale, center. Good, inhale, arc that leg out. Exhale, sweep to center. Good, you got this, inhale. Exhale. Again, that same Nice, slow and controlled pace, keeping those muscles under tension for longer as we're working. 4, 'Good. Moving into that progressed variation. 3, 2, awesome job. Last one, last combo. All right, great work. Feet down, legs go long. Arms reach past the top of the head. Whoo, stretch those hip flexors out. Good, nice work. All right, let's finish off this sequence with a second set of those butterfly crunches, and then we're gonna finish out with a little work facing the mat. So we're gonna open knees back out nice and wide into that butterfly, feet connect, fingertips lightly connect behind the head and elbows stay open. Inhale, exhale, curl up, try to pull that navel back as you lift your head and shoulders away from the mat. Good, really press that breath out as you exhale and lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good, nice work. Release all the way down to the mat. We're gonna go ahead and roll ourselves over. All right, great job, guys. We've got, again, just a little bit longer to go, focusing on back and obliques for this last sequence. So we're going to start out with what I call a Y lift, which is a variation of a back extension. So again, I'm going to present some options for progression as we go. This should not be a painful movement for your low back, so just keep that in mind as you're choosing which options to take. So I'm going to start out arms extended in that Y position. Backs of my hands are facing right up towards the ceiling. I'm going to keep my neck nice and relaxed by looking down at the mat the whole time. I'm going to begin with legs relaxed and tops of the feet touching the ground. Taking a deep breath in here, continuing to lift my navel up and in. I'm going to go ahead and exhale, peeling my face and chest away from the mat and pushing the backs of my hands up towards the ceiling. So as you lift up here, I want you to think about length. Really try to stretch forward through your fingers. That'll help to keep your spine long. We're going to inhale and lower. And then exhale and lift. Again, try to move with control. Move slow. Exhale, lift. Good, and inhale, lower. All right, awesome. We're going to do 2 more before I throw in the progression. And last one, just upper body here as we've been working on. Inhale and lower. So now adding my legs, a nice gentle movement. Again, as I lift my legs up, I'm going to think about stretching back through my toes. That's going to help me to avoid over compressing my spine in this position. Exhale, lift and lengthen. Keep that navel drawing up and in. Inhale, lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Exhale, lift, lengthen. Good. Inhale, lower with control. Whew. All right, I'm going to pick a side to start on here, and I'm going to roll onto that side. So next we're going to move into one of my favorite exercises called a side bridge press up. So we want to start out in a nice flat position. So make sure that you've got your upper body joints stacked, shoulder over elbow and wrist in front of elbow, nice 90-degree angle. And then I just want you to check in with the alignment of your hips. Are you rolling forwards? Are you sitting back? I want you to make sure that you've got that top hip stacked right over the bottom hip. Legs are stacked as well. Bottom is lightly engaged and your core continues to draw in. We're going to take that top arm and reach down towards the ankles. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to think about squeezing that space above your hip and underneath your rib on that bottom side of your body. We're going to inhale and gently lower. I want you to try to keep a little bit of engagement here. Exhale, lift. So we're not going to fully rest our weight back down on the mat. We're just going to really lightly kind of touch the mat with the hip. Exhale, press up and away. Good. Inhale, release with control. Good. You got this. You got this. We're going to do 10 from here. Try to continue to lift up and out of that bracing arm. I don't want you to feel like your neck is all crunched up on that side. You've got a lot of pressure in the shoulder. Keep it. Think of your shoulders down. Good. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. I might have lost count here. I think we have 6. We're going to go with that. Lift. Good. And lower. 5. 4. 3. 2. Good. You got this. Stay strong. We're going to do one more. Exhale, lift. Reach through those fingers. Inhale, release down with control. Nice job. Whew. All right, we're going to roll back to center on our bellies here. And we're going to move into another variation of a back extension. So this time, I want you to start out facing down towards the mat. Hands tuck in next to your chest. So elbows are pulling in toward the side of your body and lifting up like you're trying to really pinch your shoulder blades together here. So we started, this was our Y lift. Now we're going to work into a W lift. So just envision that position through the arms. So once again, we're going to start with our modified legs relaxed variation. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to go ahead and lift. Peel your face and your chest away from the mat. Think about driving your thumbs up towards the ceiling. Push those elbows up and back. We're going to inhale and lower with control. And then exhale, lift, drive. Good. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and drive. Good. 11. 10. 9. 8, good. Such a great exercise to really work on our posture. 7. 6, really feeling the backs of the shoulders in between the shoulder blades working. 5. Good, adding those legs in. 4. 3. Again, nice and controlled. 2. And last one, exhale, lift. Keep that length through your toes, shoulders down. Inhale, lower. All right, wonderful. We're going to go ahead and move on to the opposite side for that side bridge press up. So once again, finding ourselves in that nice stacked and aligned position, elbows underneath the shoulder, Wrist is in front of the elbow. We're pushing up and out of that shoulder joint, so we always have nice space between the side of the head and the top of the shoulder. Good, legs stacked back. Top hip is aligned over the bottom hip. I've got my navel pulling back and my glutes are lightly engaged. Top arm extends down towards the ankle. Take a nice deep breath in. We're going to go ahead, exhale, push, lift. Good, inhale, lower with control. Try to just let that hip gently graze the mat. We don't want to plunk or come down really heavy onto the mat surface here. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. So close. 3. Remember to use that breath. Exhale as you lift. Inhale on that lower. Last 2. Whoo, and last 1. Thank goodness. Lift. Inhale, lower with control. Whoo. All right, awesome job. So we're coming into one more variation of a back extension. This time we're going to work on some T lifts. So as the name applies, we're going to start with arms in a T position. Again, legs are down on the mat and relaxed. Core is still engaged. Good, looking down at the mat. I want you to, instead of keeping arms completely straight out here, I want you to keep a little soft bend in your elbows. So start out with your fingertips connecting to the floor, and then just lift up slightly through the elbows. You'll already begin to feel the muscles along the backs of your shoulders and in between your shoulder blades engaging. Make sure to keep your shoulders pulling down out of your ears so that you always have space along the back and sides of your neck. We'll start out with that inhale. As you exhale, I want you to lift, peel that chest away from the mat, push the backs of the wrists up towards the ceiling. Inhale, release. Good, exhale, lift. Inhale, release, you got it. Exhale, lift. Good. 12. Last work exercise here. So you're almost there. Stay with me, guys. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. Good. Adding the legs in here. 6. Whew, really feeling my posterior chain. 5. Fire up. 4. 3. 2. And last one. All right, release to the mat slowly and with control. Whew, great job. All right, bring those hands in. I want you to go ahead and push yourself back right into a child's pose here. You can open your knees out if that feels more comfortable, or keep them together in a narrower position. Hands walk forwards, forehead pushes down towards the mat. Try to sit those hips right back towards your heels. Stretch out that low back. So I want you to walk your hands over towards that right side, right edge of your mat. Try to sit back through that left hip, really open up that left side of your body. Excellent. Hands walk back through center and all the way over towards that left or opposite side. Again, push back through that right hip, sit back. Nice. Go ahead, walk it back to center. You can come up through kneeling. Thank you guys so much. That is all I've got for you today. Like I said, I really welcome any comments or feedback you have, since this is my first time doing a live video. And catch me every week on Thursdays at 9 on the Allard Center page after this week. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.